Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of SevTech. How are you guys doing today? How's life? Today is going to be a relatively busy episode because we want to get the creative tank. Of course, it is not something that we can achieve today, but we are going to work towards it. If you look at the recipe of a creative tank, it's not as complex as you would think. We are going to need Insanium ingots, which is nothing. We need 4 glass and 1 paperclip singularities. We need 4 blood tanks tier 4, which are relatively expensive, but we need to work towards it. And we're going to need a bunch of ultimate ingots, and if I'm not wrong, only 16 of them. Oh, we need the steel ingots. Ew. But it's not that bad. The most important thing that we have to do is to start automating the production of blank slates. We are going to need around 40,000 of it, and doing self-sacrifice is not going to pay off. So even though I'm a fan of self-sacrifice, maybe we should start sacrificing others. There is a ritual from blood magic called the Well of Suffering, and for the first time, we have to start using it. We just make the mobs suffer, convert it into LP, and then use it to craft slates. The only question is that I'm not sure if we need the basic ritual diviner or the advanced one. I'm hoping it's the basic. Unfortunately, it is the advanced version and it's going to need a demonic slate, which we can make. I was thinking maybe it's going to need another blood altar, but no, with the tier 4, we can still make the demonic slate. And here is the advanced version. And yes, we have the Well of Suffering. Very good. Another question is, how big are you? It's not that bad. The master ritual stone for the Well of Suffering has to be placed under the blood altar or above it. So I think we're going to put it underneath, and we need to know how big the blood altar is going to be. I had no idea, but we can make a tier 6. Wow. Then show me tier 6. Yeah, this seems to be the size for a tier 6 blood altar. We just have to make the clusters and it's not that cheap. I just had to move it by 2 blocks so that it's aligned with our portal over there. This is our tier 4 blood altar and I did not make any changes. It's still designed for self-sacrifice and I just moved it from there to here. And underneath we have the Well of Suffering, but it's not activated yet because we're going to need a few nether stars. And by a few, I mean 5. We're going to use 4 of them in order to make 4 beacons, and we are going to use them in order to upgrade our altar to tier 5. Are you tier 5? Yes. And as usual, I have done a very small miscalculation and we need 1 more nether star. And unfortunately, we're missing 2 skulls, so we have to hunt a few of these guys. Well, I did manage to get 1 wither skeleton skull and some fragments, so we should be okay. And we have 1 extra over here, so we're good. We need to upgrade 1 of those stars to the orb so that we can use the other star to make the awakened activation crystal. But this is relatively expensive. It requires 80,000 LP and our entire capacity is 58,000. So we need to fill it in completely and wait for the soul fray to go away. And I think we should have enough. Hopefully. Yes, we do. Come on, come on, come on. You should have enough LP, yes! And here is the activation crystal. And I think we should have enough LP in our network to activate the ritual. We have 745,000. Yes, it's now active. For those of you who don't know, the way that this ritual is going to work is that you need to place mobs here, under the altar, and they're going to start taking damage. And the damage that they take is converted into LP. Yeah, we're getting 25 LP every time he's suffering. It's really good. The problem is, he's going to die eventually. So whichever mob that we want to torment, we need to heal them up as well. There is a graveyard soil from Tinker's Construct and it will heal the undead. We also make some name tags so that they do not despawn. And this is basically what we're going to do. We're going to have a graveyard soil over there and then we release the mob so he takes damage. We name him and you can see he's taking damage but he's also healing up. And obviously, we can have more. Now that we have 2 mobs, every time that they're taking damage, we're also gaining 50 LP. We can increase the amount of LP that we're getting from them by adding runes of sacrifice. It's more, but I don't know how much. It's okay, we need more mobs anyway. Well, so far I did manage to put 8 of them in the Well of Suffering and we're gaining a decent amount of LP. And we already have a volunteer. I just noticed it's far easier to name them and then take them. And this is the 16th one. Very good. Oh, the tank is full. Nice. But the altar that we have over here is configured so that we will do self-sacrifice. We need to remove these and start making runes of sacrifice. We are generating a decent amount of LP because it's not going down. Alright guys, it's been a while later and I did upgrade our blood altar to tier 5. I mean, it was already tier 5, but I made all the ruins of sacrifice and this is how fast we're gaining LP. Which is not that bad. Of course, I did not increase the number of zombies, it's just the runes of sacrifice which is giving us this much LP. Now we need to upgrade it to tier 6. Mod packs you cannot make a tier 6 blood altar because the crystal cluster is disabled, but in this mod pack, we have a recipe for it, but it is going to require will crystals, and it's not a very easy thing to obtain. But it's also not very complicated, we just need 2 more rituals. One of them is going to be the crack of the fractured crystal. So we're going to assemble it over here, then we're going to add 1 more ritual stone, I mean the master ritual stone, and we're just going to assemble it over here, or maybe it has to be 1 block higher. Yeah, it has to be 1 block higher, okay, it's fine. Since both of these rituals work hand in hand, they're also a perfect match, so you can just stack them on top of each other. And now we are going to need to make a demon crystallizer, which I'm hoping we are going to have enough demonic will. I think we have. Yes, it's going to consume 100. Yes, very good. To get the first demon crystal, what we have to do is that we're going to have a demonic crucible over here, and it has to be done within 1 chunk. And then we're going to put a Tartaric gem inside so that it will release the demonic will within the chunk. And then we're going to activate the ritual of the faceted crystal. The crystallizer goes on top, and we wait for a crystal. It might take a while. Actually, it didn't take that long, we already have a crystal, but if we break this one, we will only get the basic demon will crystal. But we want the other 4 types as well, and this is where the ritual of the faceted crystal comes into play. It will break this crystal, and it will generate these 4 on these 4 blocks. But for that, this guy needs to reach the maximum size, and that could really take a while. Do we have demonic will? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it is very important that you activate the top ritual first and then wait for all the crystals to grow on these corners and then activate the bottom one, which is the ritual of the fractured crystal, because it will start breaking it and harvesting it, and we don't want to do that. We first want the crystals, then we want to harvest them. That is going to take a while, and in the meantime we can focus on other stuff. I think we should have plenty of inferium because it's been a while. Yes. We need to start making the master infusion stone, and for that we need 4 supremium, if I'm not wrong. Yes, and we can just craft it. Very good. You go through inferium really fast. I could only afford to upgrade 1 of them to tier 5, and that's it. So maybe we should start making a mystical agriculture area. This should be for Kepler, right? I just connected it to power, and we can dial Kepler. Very good. I don't think we need any spacesuit. It's very late to check, I know. Oh, we're good. Can I sleep here? Nope. It is perfectly fine. We just need some copper. That's it. Yeah, I think that's enough. We can go home. So last episode I saw a recipe that we can convert the copper ore from Ep22 to prosperity ore. It's taking a while. Why? Is nighttime better? Maybe. And the answer is the recipe works. And we can fortune it. Yeah, I would say this is far easier than crafting it in an Empower, because that is expensive. Now that we have the Master Infusion Stone, I think it's a good time to start automating Inferium Essence. And we're not going to go with anything fancy, so I'm just going to set it up over here, next to our base. And I think 5 garden cloches should be more than enough. At least I hope. Over here in the back, we're going to extract the essence, and we're going to try and put it inside the crafter from RF Tools so that we will just get the Insanium. And you guys know the rest of the drill, we just have to set the recipes. This is the recipe for Insanium, we're going to put it inside, and then we're going to make a recipe for Insanium block, and that will go to the output, which is going to take a while, so maybe we should craft more seeds. We're not very wealthy on essence, so for the moment these guys are tier 3. And obviously, as usual, the end result is going to go inside an ender chest and into our ME system. Oh, it has grown! And these guys have also grown. Okay, so now if we activate the bottom one, it should start harvesting it. Yes, one of them fell somewhere. Oh, okay, we have all. There is another ritual from Blood Magic which will act like a vacuum hopper, but we do have a hopper, so let's make it. The only question is, what is your range? It's not the worst, and I think we can just fit it here, right? No, it's not gonna cover it. That is sad. Well, I wanted to hide it somewhere underneath, but the range is not very good, so we're gonna put it back here. But we are out of demonic will, and that's not good. The sentient sword that we have is not the best, because at the time that we made it, we did not have access to very good enchantments. Now that we have access to enchantments from Astral Sorcery, maybe we should make another one. Yeah, it's already broken. We get another one. Are you breaking my door? How dare you? Since we're going to gather demonic will, I think looting is the top priority for us. And this is Horologium, so it gives us the most looting. It broke! Why? Well, at least we got looting 4. I have no idea, this one also broke. What's wrong with tonight? We have a sharpness 4 and we have 2 sharpness 3s. And we can upgrade you to sharpness 5. Very good. So are you any good? Not the best. I have no idea what happened with that creeper, but everyone else that I see, I can kill with one shot. We don't have that many Tartaric gems, we only have 3 common ones and we should start upgrading them. I have already upgraded 2 of the lesser ones to common and now we need to make the greater one, which needs 1000. And it also needs a demonic slate. I think doing a lot of blood magic in one day is going to get boring for you guys, so let us focus on something else. We need a paperclip factory, and we need it very soon. I have already gathered everything that we're going to need, and the only thing that we're missing is 5 pieces of empowered Restonio crystal. We need such a stupid amount of paperclips that I was thinking maybe we should have 2 of these factories. Because to be honest with you, I'm not sure how fast they're going to work. Placing pistons is the worst. And if I did not do anything wrong, this should be the structure, yes. So this is just going to be for testing purposes. We're going to give you the meteoric iron. And do you need the lubricant? It's not consuming the lubricant. Weird. Yeah, literally, it's not consuming the lubricant. Oh, now it's consuming the lubricant. Okay, so you can craft it with the lubricant or without. What's the difference? Oh, it consumes less energy. I don't want you to consume less energy, I want you to consume less lubricant. Okay, now that we know how to make paper clips in very large quantities and relatively fast, let us start automating it. Obviously, it does not make any sense to import the paper clips into our ME system, so what we're going to do is that we're going to export them into a quantum compressor and just import the Singularity itself. Yeah, but I'm slightly confused. This is incredibly slow. Very slow. This is how fast we're gaining paper clips, and at this speed we are going to finish the pack, I don't know, in 150 years, so maybe we need 10 of these? I don't know. I have just noticed that I made a small mistake. If you add the lubricant, it doubles the speed. The problem is at this speed, even if we double it, it's still nothing. So we need much more of these guys. I have absolutely no idea how much more we're going to need, but I'm making a lot of modularium. I'm also empowering 1 stack of Restonio crystals. So I don't know, maybe in total we're going to have 16 of them? Oh, and it's one of these guys. It takes time to make a Singularity. Fine. Well, at least we have 1. Anyhow, our main issue is that we cannot provide these guys with enough lubricant because they will consume 100 millibuckets per operation. That means for 80 paper clips, we need 1 bucket of lubricant. And our total supply of lubricant is this. And that's it. And this is why I thought we were going to need the creative tank very soon. And so far, we only have this Singularity. That's it. This area that you see in front of you is 6 chunks and we can fit 16 of them within these 6 chunks. I just have to make all the parts, which unfortunately is not the fastest process. Okay, so it has been quite a while later and we have 16 paperclip factories. Each one of them is being fed by an ender chest, outputs everything to an ender chest, and is being powered by a quantum entangler. I have not hooked them up to an ender tank for lubricant because this setup that you see over here with 16 paperclip factories is going to consume, I think, around half a bucket of lubricant every second. And that's not something that we can do until we get the creative tank, which is not going to happen in the next 2 episodes. So yeah, I could have used less ender chests and less quantum entangler porters by having longer cables, but I honestly thought that having shorter cables causes less lag. Unlike this one, which is going to be a very temporary setup because we are not going to grow the meteoric iron in a garden clutch. It's incredibly slow. But anyhow, the idea is that we're going to provide these guys with meteoric iron and they're going to provide us with paper clips. And we just ate through our entire supply. Nice. I have been testing this for a while and unfortunately every 4 minutes and 10 seconds we only get 1 singularity. That means every hour we're going to get 15. So at this rate, if we want to get 20,000 paperclip singularities, which we need in order to finish the pack, it's going to take us 56 days. In real life, not Minecraft. If I manage to give them lubricant, it's still 28 days. So if I leave my computer on for a month, maybe we are done with the pack. We can further decrease that number to 7 days if I quadruple the number of paperclip factories from 16 to 64, but then we will have another issue. How the hell am I going to feed them with meteoric iron? I already know that garden cloches are not the way to go because we are going to need hundreds of them and they're going to cause a crazy amount of lag, so we need to look at other methods. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering where the hell did I get all the blaze rods we need in order to make the ender chests, I actually went to the nether, we have a blaze seed, I went to the end, we have an enderman seed, and I went to the twilight forest, so we have a ghast seed. And this is the durability of my solium dagger. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to increase the number of inferium seeds that we have over here from 5 to 9, because I think I have underestimated how much inferium we need. I spent a little bit of time and created a 9x9 area for farming meteoric iron and try to accelerate it as much as I can. We have 2 layers of greenhouse glass, we have the ritual anchor from Avites, and we have 5 sprinklers. Of course, you should also remember that the farm itself is not full of seeds because seeds are expensive, and I'm not sure if the harvester is giving me extra seeds. So until I get more prosperity shards and more essence, that's the number of plants that we're going to have. Or maybe we get lucky and the harvester gives us a little bit more. Also, there is a ritual from blood magic and I want to see if that one works as well. It is called the ritual of the green grove. Technically you have to plant the crops on top of this, but I do have a ritual tinkerer and we can define the range. We want it to be from here to here. The only question is, I'm not sure if you're actually working. We are losing LP. The reason that I don't want to put the ritual under the crops is that later on we should be able to make the growth accelerators from mystical agriculture, and those are actually more helpful than the ritual. But for the moment we can't actually make the growth accelerators because I need to make more of these seeds, I need to upgrade the inferium seeds, and we don't have that many essence. Alright guys, I have been trying several methods to see which one is more efficient to get meteoric iron essence so that we can feed our paperclip factories. I have also made some observations and I think I should share it with you guys. First off, in mystical agriculture, whenever you break a fully grown plant, there is a chance you will get an extra seed. But in this mod pack, that has been disabled, so the harvesters will never give you an extra seed. Also, a meteoric iron plant is supposed to give you 2 essence, but for some reason in this mod pack, it gives you only 1. You see, we had 3, now we have 4, now we have 5. What that basically means is that to get 3 ingots, we need 8 fully grown plants. I have also noticed that the greenhouse glass in this mod pack at least has the most effect on plant growth, because over here we just have greenhouse glass and that's it. And look how fast they're growing. In comparison, this is the original 9x9 that I made for meteoric iron, and inside we have the ritual anchor from astral sorcery, we have rituals from blood magic which are underneath here, we have sprinklers, and we have greenhouse glass, and the speed is almost the same. And this is why I decided to repurpose this area for inferium essence. Another thing that I noticed is that the harvester from cyclic seems to be much more efficient than the harvester from industrial foregoing, so I think we're going to use those instead. Because the plant gatherer from industrial foregoing is going to uproot every single plant which is fully grown, takes the seed, and then sends it into the planter, and that takes a bit of time. And this guy does not do that, it will just harvest the entire area in front of it in one go. So I think what we're going to do is that we're going to start farming meteoric iron maybe around here, which is out of the render distance of our base. That will help us with lag. And in hindsight, I should have brought a bed. Essentially, this is what I had in mind. We have several layers of greenhouse glass, but they're expensive, so later on I have to expand on that. We have around 100 plants. This place is 15 by 15, so maximum we're going to have 220 plants, and I'm going to make another one right next to it over here. And every time that the harvester is harvesting the crops, we're getting around 50 essence. Of course, between now and the next episode, I have to grind to get more prosperity shards, more greenhouse glass, and more seeds, and maybe make another farm. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye. Oh, and by the way, just before I forget, some of you guys were concerned that I'm going to drop this mod pack and start playing the Skyblock version. I did not say that in the last episode. What I meant was that you want me to play the Skyblock version after I have finished this one. So there is no need to panic, I haven't given up yet. Of course, I'm not sure what we're going to play next, but I was hoping maybe it can be Celestial Journey or Omni Factory. I don't know, we will have a poll anyway.